properties. And we got my sound guy here making sure I'm not too loud and I'm not too low. If you have any questions, speak up. This meeting is to decide what will be done with the Meyers properties. As I was told, this is not a hearing. This is simply to get ideas from the public. And my name is Forrest Gillette. I'm the MC, and according to the MC code, I don't say much, I just introduce people. And so what I'd like to do is start off by introducing the City of Seattle attendees. From the Department of Neighborhoods, we have Carrie Wade. Carrie Wade's outside. And from Finance and Administrative Services, affectionately known as FAS, we have Mike Ashbrook. And we have Hillary Hamilton. That's the name. Bill Craven. And Daniel Bretsky. Daniel's way in the back waving his hand. From Seattle Public Utilities, we have John Ovett. And from Seattle Fire Department, we have firefighter Colin McElroy. Good evening. Does that sound cool? Firefighter Colin McElroy. And is Doug Colbert here? Oh, there he is. Okay. Are there any city council members in attendance today? Nope. Okay, let's move right along. Up next, we're going to speak with Hillary Hamilton, and she'll discuss the process of excess property and how the city deals with it.
Have to get used to holding the mic, so if I start moving it around, you can't either hear, or I start guessing, let me know. So welcome. Thank you all for coming tonight. I'm Hillary Hamilton. I work in the Real Estate Services section of FAS, Finance and Administrative Services. What our group in FAS does, and the reason that we're here tonight, well, two reasons. First of all, we're the department that has responsibility for the property. We are landlord to the fire department, and we also have responsibility for the undeveloped area to the south. So that's one of our hats we're wearing today. Secondly, we have the responsibility to manage a process that was adopted by the City Council, updated in 2006 actually, to add more citizen participation to the process of looking at the vacant lands and trying to come to the best decision for the city. The council adopted these procedures to hear from the public and to make sure that a lot of different aspects were evaluated before they make a decision. One of the important things I want to let you know is where we are in the process. We're about halfway through. So this public meeting is something that we're looking at is information exchange. It's not a public hearing. The normal time for an actual public hearing is a lot closer to when the council will be studying legislation. And we anticipate that's going to be probably September. So our goal tonight is really to, for the city to share information, and also several different speakers. If you have a copy of the agenda, you can see that we've got folks from TreePad and the Seattle Green Space Coalition, somebody that's representing potential commercial developer. Colin will talk about fire and how they use the site, and more. So, like I said, it's not a public hearing. We won't be able to take comments from everybody, but there are comment sheets available. If you want to fill it out tonight, you can leave it in an envelope at the back of the room. And if you want to mail it, the email address, if you want to scan it and email it to us, or Daniel's email is up here. He's collecting the comments. Just a quick little background about the property. The city purchased the property in 2003 with the intention of building the facility that we're in and the surrounding training facilities. So you may know, but there's a practice tower, there's a practice overpass, and several other kinds of training props. And Colin Oxman will talk more about that. When we purchased it, Nintendo was the seller, and they said, you have to buy all of it or none of it. You can't just buy the 10 acres that you want. So the city thought about it really hard and decided this was the best site we had found. And we went ahead and purchased the entire 50 acres. At that point, in 2003, the council specifically said that it would sell the remainder of the property with the goal of creating job development throughout the nearby communities. Our department took that into effect in 2005. The council passed a second ordinance that authorized us to negotiate with Lowe's Hardware. And they were interested in putting a Lowe's store here that would bring jobs and also be another hardware store. That deal didn't go through. Then we had a recession, and since that time, our department's been studying the site. We've got a lot of better information about the environmental condition, about the wetlands and where they're located. We've closed out the old mining permit, so we've done a lot of work. And I think I'll in the interest of moving on, I will just save time and go on to our next speaker. That'll allow more time for questions later.
And up next, we have firefighter Colin McElroy, who will discuss the needs of the fire department. Colin?
Good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. My name is Colin McElroy. I work for the City of Seattle, the fire department. I understand we have some residents from Arrowhead Gardens. Is that right?
Yep, right.
Yeah. Our neighbors to the north, hello.
Hi.
You guys don't know this, but you actually do know me, because when you guys' alarm bell goes off at 3 in the morning and it doesn't get shut off, I'm that guy.
Yep.
All right. So, I've been asked to speak on this fire department's behalf about what goes on here at the joint training facility. It's a collaborative effort between SPU and the fire department to have a central location that we can all do some of our training at. When I first came in, my training area was at old Station 14, was the old training station, and it was basically the size of this room. So now we have this giant facility where we're going to take all of our toys out, throw our ladders, and bring our hose out to practice our trade. Over the years, the JTF has drastically improved a lot of activities, whether it's SPU's apprenticeship program, or it's our in-house firefighter training, or even some regional training that we conduct here on the site as well, some of our structural collapse training. So my main job is to be a fireman at Station 14 in Soto, but I moonlight here as my third home, doing a lot of training for not just Seattle firefighters, but actual class where we put on what is called structural collapse training, and it's training firefighters from all around the county, as far as going all the way down to Tacoma and South Pierce County, all the way up to Marysville. So our goal is to train firefighters all around the region with federally grants that will help us prepare to actually help you guys if there's an actual emergency. That emergency being most likely an earthquake. So we train very hard to try and how do we operate in confined spaces, how do we use the tools that are new to us and actually work together. So that if something does happen, we have a cadre of individuals who've been through training where we can rely on them to actually help you guys if there is ever an event like that. So, how does this play into the property across the street? Well, our footprint is getting smaller and smaller as far as our real estate on the JTF site, where we have, as you guys, who's heard of the backup alarms? You guys heard the backup alarms from all those engines backing up, beep, beep, beep? Yeah, we do driver's training there, and I've replaced those alarms, by the way. They're much quieter now, I will say that. So we have that going on. We also have in-house training like OSET, basically our operational training where we teach guys how to do basic firefighting skills. We have, like I said, our SCT class. And we're finding that it's becoming very, very crowded here at the JTF. And we're looking for some new real estate to be able to expand some of our operations. Some of those operations you might be interested in, some of our noisier operations. So what we'd like to propose is moving some of our louder and dirty operations kind of towards the south end of the site, away from residents like yourself who live at Arrowhead Gardens. Have some more additional parking of places that we can can actually put some of our private vehicles, so we don't have to take up space in front of Arrowhead Gardens. And someplace where we can actually have an opportunity to kind of expand some of our training areas so that we don't take up valuable real estate for other events that happen here at the JTF. In addition to training, what we'd like to do is keep some of our props that we have. So I don't know if you guys have gotten the site or gotten a tour of the actual site here, but we have a lot of pieces for building collapsed buildings, which come up with concrete and steel, and we basically keep them here on site until we do these classes every year. And in the meantime, they're taking up valuable real estate. And what we would like to propose is that we actually use some of the 5 acres that's been identified for the fire department to store some of those materials, as well as conduct training, have some parking, and move some of our other louder and more disruptive activities farther away from Yukon residents who live in the north. So that's what we'd like to do, and we've encouraged that we can get some support and actually being able to utilize some of that property to move some of our and expand some of our operations a little farther south. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was Colin McElroy of Seattle Fire Department. We're now going to take a look at our other speakers. They'll each get 4 minutes to speak. And just a couple of house rules here. There will be a question and answer period after the break where we can enjoy more of the food and water in the back. But until then, we ask you to hold your questions, write them down if you get a good question or comment that can be used later on. But give them the 4 minutes, and also if there's a need for Vietnamese, Somali, or Spanish translation interpretation, we do have our interpreters. They are, raise their hands. There they go. With that, we're going to now talk to Alan Robertson, NAI Puget Sound Properties.
Hi, I'm Al Robertson. I've been a resident in Seattle since 1980 and involved in the industrial market at South End in particular since 1986. So I'm just going to kind of hit the highlights from our perspective.
Microphone.
Oh,
You're too far away.
Okay, so